we go. Been a while. A couple of days, I guess, since I went out for a little bit of a jaunt. I like that word. Jaunt. Just gotta check for a second, see that my camera is actually on. Yep, it's on. It's really hard to tell when it's bright out. So, interesting last few days. Getting a lot of work done around my condo. Not specifically mine, and when I use the words around, it literally meant around. I was getting a soffit fixed. Sorry about that. I was trying to fix my collar on my jacket, but yeah, I got was getting some soffit and stuff done, and a bit of a rocky start. I've talked in the past how I would like people to be responsible for their words, their communications. So if people don't understand, it's not because the person who doesn't understand is an idiot. It's because the person that is doing the communicating is communicating well, ensuring their message gets across. So I had some major issues with how they were going to clean the insulation out of my attic. Seeing as how the insulation up there is not in good shape, it's not clean. Had a lot of animals up there because of the soffit issues. So anyways, we'll see how things go. If their words, when they finally clarified what they were going to do, actually results in action that matches the words. So, and I don't want to be one of those people that is the one that's being affected the most. Somebody says to me, "Oh well, you must have misunderstood, or that isn't how we do things." And like, no, sorry, that's how he was explained to me, and that's what I understood, and that's what I said back to the contractor. I mean, the problem is as the person that's affected the most, I'm not actually the one responsible or the one who has the authority. Because I said I'm just the resident of the affected unit, or the owner of the affected unit, but most people have their own little kind of chain of command that they follow, and they only report and answer to so and such a people. And it's funny because even though I'm actually on the board of the condo, that doesn't give me any authority. A little bit more than just being an owner, because indirectly I was one of the people that voted on the expense and gave the authority to the property manager to deal with it, whatever. But I've had times in the past where I've asked questions or posed a question, and somebody says, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I can only deal with the property manager." Anyways, we'll see how it goes. It includes tomorrow, which is part of a long weekend. Not that I'm happy about wasting part of my long weekend, you know, sitting around my condo watching people walk in and out constantly. But I will be. Excuse me. Not very ladylike that was. We'll see where everything goes. Aside from that, I think everything is going all right these days. I'm still trying to finish a paper for school. It shouldn't actually be that hard or be that much work. But I've been having, I guess you want to say, some motivation issues, getting not necessarily writer's block, but kind of the words are there a lot of the times, but the drive to put, you know, digital pen to paper is kind of lost sometimes. And this week it came from a really an instance in the class itself, and it may not be apparent, but the course I'm doing is, most courses are done online. I mean, you can basically complete a degree with only ever spending maybe a couple of weeks in an actual physical class on the campus, which is an amazing thing to do, but it just means that everything, including like collaboration sessions and kind of class meetings and everything, are all done online. It actually like fits well with the whole COVID world, because everybody is basically just continuing, you know, doing in school what they were having to do in the real world and vice versa. At least it was for me. I just not much of a change in my schooling methodologies. But where I was going with this is that part of it this week was just a session with the instructor, and she's actually overseas in Europe where she lives and works, and the tool that we use seems to have a lot of technical issues because so many people have issues with noise, reverberation, whatever else you want to call it, distortion. And a lot of the times we have to turn off our video and mute our audio, except when we want to talk. So really what it means is that the teacher's the only one that never mutes themselves. And us as the students, we basically pipe in. But I don't know, there are some methods for identifying yourself, but I was at a point where I just said, I have a question. And while a lot of people may not understand, the difficulty I have with what came out of that was a simple matter of the fact that the teacher, the instructor, called me Tim, and my name's Kat. Kat. I know some guys called Kat, and I know a lot of girls called Kat, Catherine. But I don't know very many girls called Timothy. But anyways, the fact is Tim is one of the other students in the class, and statistically, it just so happens that out of the 16 students in the class, there's only 2 men, 14 women and 2 men. So to be called Tim meant that she just thought, because of my voice, that I was Tim. And I didn't make a big deal of it at that moment. I mentioned, I quickly came back and says, no, it's Catherine. And she says, oh, okay, go ahead, Catherine. And we went ahead and everything else. But, and I asked my question, but the thing is it really, if I want to say slowed, reduced, diminished my motivation. It kind of made me withdraw a bit, and I didn't ask too many more questions. I didn't contribute too much more. And reality is most of the day, the rest of that day, I had a hard time. Working. I just couldn't get any motivation. So most people may be wondering, like, why is this such a big deal? But it's, and I've had to explain this to a couple of people, that it makes it really difficult for somebody who's transgender to know that just simply opening their mouth, in absence of anything else, just opening their mouth to say something, risks, and I say potentially risks safety, health, work, job, benefits, rights. And it may not be that exact moment. You know, I was in no way um, at risk of being harmed or hurt. On a teleconference. But it's the feeling of saying that just opening my mouth, speaking and communicating can be dangerous. So, and I guess that's the thing is, it's not about the specific incident. It's about the resulting self-reflection on our existence. And I have people that have told me, "Oh, well, your voice is great. Your face is beautiful. You're nobody will mistake you for a woman or for a man, Yet these things happen. And it's harsh. It's hard. I don't think people can truly understand what it's like for somebody not to see you, and how depressing it can be for a person that just wants to be themselves, but themselves, I'm having a hard time trying to explain this. I just want to be myself, but the self I see is a self that identifies as a woman, and I'm not the biggest fan of these words like identifies as, because inside me, in my soul, in my sense of who I am a woman. It's not like I want to be or I'm trying to be. At the core of my being, I am a woman. And I'm just trying to get everything that's on the outside that people can see. And, the problem is that it's almost impossible, right now, scientifically and medically, not possible to make my insides be the way that I wish they were. Because you know what? We can't, all of a sudden have our chromosomes changed. We can't have, we can't all of a sudden have ovaries or a uterus. Maybe in the future it's possible. But as it stands, it's not possible. So what does one do? You do what you can, because spending a long time focusing on the impossible, saying, oh, it's never going to happen, I can't be me, just ends up resulting in so much sadness and depression. And you know what? I can't deal with that. I couldn't deal with that. So bit by bit, you know. And if you're lucky, genetically or for other reasons, if you can find a way, or you're able to make changes in that, you know, for example, your voice. I mean, I can't sing. I don't have a voice like that. You know, although somebody would tell me anybody can sing. But I know I don't. I don't have the range. But there's a lot of people that, you know, that do. They've trained as singers. They've learned to have a lot more flexibility in their voice. And you know what? If they can get away with it, and they can break their habit of that's wonderful for them. For those of you that are following me, I have one subscriber, apart from one of my other accounts that's following, you know, me, following myself. This is my Versos 2016. Just slightly over 26,000 kilometers on it now. It only had 20,000 when I got it in beginning of March. I rather enjoy it. I'm still learning and figuring out, for example, the chain. Because even that, still feel that that's loose. And I don't know. I'm assuming there's something with the chain, whether it's the links themselves are degrading. I mean, it does have 26,000 kilometers on it. Trying to figure out, you know, exactly how it's supposed to work, because I don't know how many times now I've tightened my chain. Started out, it was at the middle nick, and now I'm a nick and a half back. So as I said, I'm constantly 6,000 kilometers. I've had to extend it probably about a centimeter and a half. And I also hear noise. To me it sounds more like a bearing that is going. My expectation is that is up in the front sprocket back of here. But as I said, I'm learning. I kind of think that by the time I get back to the end of the season, I'm hoping that things don't fail. But if I get to the end of the season, I'm going to more likely find somebody getting me to change that. We're going to ask them. Dang sure that I don't feel like I'm trusting the place that I bought it from, because I just think there's something wrong with how they've been doing the maintenance on my bike. I know I didn't show you all my bike, but you know those that's interesting. So after a while you just get a little bit confused, a little bit I'm disbelieving their efforts, because I'm not sure what work they're actually doing. And this has been kind of a regular part of my my discussions related to the dealership where I bought this bike. Compared with expectations, results, or expected results and results. And I'm not feeling it. I lost confidence in that dealership. So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Whoa. That wasn't a really good situation.